For most of us, when we need to get somewhere, we open an app like Google Maps, type in our destination, and then we pick from 2 or 3 different routes that the app suggests. Usually, we pick the shortest one. I live near LA, so sometimes I will pick the one with the least freeway.
Yo, you're getting on the freeway! No! Okay, get the procedure, just get out the lane! Truck!
In the same way that an app might give you 2 or 3 different ways to get to the same location, different forms of lines give you a couple different ways to get to the same graph. So in this video, we're going to cover 3 different forms of graphs, and we're going to start with the most popular. She was voted most likely to succeed. She's the president of NHS. She's got straight A's. She's slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form looks like this: y equals mx plus b. The b represents the y-intercept, and m represents slope. And no, I do not know why the word slope is represented by the letter m. Couldn't tell you. Now, when you have a line written in slope-intercept form, here's the steps you need to follow. First, you plot the y-intercept on the y-axis. Once you have that plotted, you use the slope to find the next point. And then once you have all those points, you just connect the dots to make a line. Now, just a couple examples here of what slope is. The short version of slope is its rise over run. So to get from one point to the next, it's how far up and over or down and over you have to go to get from, the previous point to the next point. So just a few examples here. If your slope was 1/4, you would go up 1, right 4 to get from one point to the next. If your slope was 2, 2 is technically the same as 2/1. So if you ever see just a single whole number, remember that any number can be written as that number over 1. So if the slope was 2/1, you would go up 2, right 1. Now if the slope is negative, you're actually going to be going down 5 and right 6. So always go to the right. If it's a positive slope, you're going up. Negative slope, you're going down. Now I distinctly remember in 8th or 9th grade, my teacher saying, oh, if it's a positive slope, the line goes up. Negative slope, the line goes down. And I was sitting there like, every line goes up and down. So what my teacher meant was when you read the line left to right, like the way you read a book, is the line going up or down. Okay, so let's do an example. The y-intercept of this equation is -4. So we're going to put a point down here at -4. This slope is 3/2. So from that point, we're going to go up 3, right 2. So 1, 2, 3/2 would be right here. And notice I'm just counting the lines. So 1, 2, 3. And then over 2, 1, 2. Now I have some space, so I'm going to do that again. Up 1, 2, 3, over 2. Now you might make some little points on your way to get to that big point. Do not connect them. It's okay if you make little marks with your pencil, but they're not part of the line. They don't go here, so ignore those. Okay. Now, technically, this line should have arrows on the end to show us that it does go in both directions forever and ever. And as you can see, if you read this from left to right, like you would read a book, this line is increasing. And that makes sense because the slope is positive. Okay, next up, standard form. Okay, if slope-intercept form is the popular kid, voted most likely to succeed, standard form is like the class clown, maybe? The kid who gets into all the colleges without really trying. It's fun to be around, but you're kind of frustrated, why is everything so easy for you? That's standard form. Standard form looks like this. It's kind of strange. So ax plus by equals c. The x and y are on the same side of the equation, and we've got this a, b, and c. They're just numbers. There's some details with standard form we're not going to worry about in this video. For our purposes, it's x and y are on one side of the equation. Okay, so when you're graphing in standard form, the first thing you need to find is the x-intercept, and you find that by setting y equal to 0. Then you find the y-intercept, and you get that by setting x equal to 0. Once you have those two values, you plot them both, and then you connect the points. Okay, so here's our example. 5x minus 4y equals 20. We're going to start by finding the x-intercept by setting y equal to 0. 4 times 0 basically just goes away. And we're left with 5x equals 20. Now you can use a calculator, or you can do that in your head. 5 times 4 gives us 20. So our x-intercept would be 4, 0. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but the y-intercept. So this time I'm putting in a 0 for x. So it's going to be 5 times 0 minus 4y equals 20. And once again, this basically goes away. 5 times 0 is just 0. Be really careful of negatives here. Negative 4 times negative 5 would give me positive 20. So if I put in 0 for x, I get negative 5 for y. So I know some teachers call it cover up because they literally will cover up the x part or the y part. And you can do that if you want, or you can, actually plug in the zeros. Okay, so 0, negative 5 is down here. 4 zeros up here, and then I can connect those. Okay, and last but not least, we have point slope form. Point slope form is misunderstood. People are scared of point slope form. She looks a little mean. She's actually super nice and helpful. So keep an open mind when you look at her. I know, looks a little crazy. So m is still slope. Same as in y equals mx plus b, m is the slope. But this time we also have a point. And that point is represented by the coordinate x1, y1. It's not the y-intercept. It's just a point. So when you're graphing in point slope form, first you plot the point, just literally a point, and then you use the slope to find the next point, just like we did in y equals mx plus b form. And then we connect the points. So this is going to be not too bad. The hardest part is picking out what the point is from the equation. But once you get that, point slope form is your best friend. Point slope form is Allison Sheedy in Breakfast Club. Is it Sheedy? I'll look that up later. Editing me will look that up. Okay, so to find the point, we look in the parentheses first. Now this says x plus 6. If you look over here at point slope form, you'll see x minus and then x1. So we need to think of this as x minus. Now x plus 6. A different way I could write that would be x minus negative 6. We know that minus a negative is the same as plus. So the point given to me by this point slope form, the x coordinate is negative 6. Now for the y coordinate, I look over here and it's the number after the minus over here. So that would be y minus 3. The y coordinate is 3. So once again, to find the point, you have to look at the numbers that come after the minuses. If there isn't a minus like there was here, then you have to rewrite it x minus something. Okay, I know that was a lot, but now it's going to be smooth sailing. We just plot this point, negative 6, 3, and now we use the slope just like we were doing up above. Slope is 1 over 2, so we're going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, and I'll do one more, up 1 over 2. So just because she looks mean doesn't mean she's not nice. Okay, she's really nice. She's going to be a good friend. So when you're looking at Google Maps, there's lots of different reasons why you might choose one route over another. Shortest, least freeway time. Sometimes you just want to pick the route that goes next to a Dairy Queen. When you're graphing a line, there's different reasons why each form is nice. Point slope form, easy because it's literally any point. It doesn't have to be any special point, it's just a point. Slope-intercept form is great because you get 2 really important pieces of information about the line. And standard form is great because it's just fun. The cover-up method, how fun was that? You don't have to say it out loud. We all know it was fun. So you might have one form of equation that's your favorite, and that's totally fine, but you should still try to get comfortable with all 3. Because I think it would be pretty much impossible to do your entire high school math career and completely ignore one of these forms. Like, you kind of have to know how to do all of them. Just like I should practice driving on the freeway more. Or I could just bike. I could just bike everywhere, No, I should practice. I'll practice. Okay, I will. I promise. Speaking of practice, I'm going to make a different video where I go through some more examples. Once I have that done, I will link it here. I don't know. It'll be here. Okay, happy graphing.